Well, hello, everyone. This is Jim Graham. Doug, I just want to make sure that you can hear me.
I sure can.
And great. Can you see my screen yet?
Yes, 48 hours to 1,000 targeted hits.
Awesome.
Yes, I got it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, thank you for coming to the webinar. I'm really excited about sharing these special strategies with you tonight. I know we've got people from all over the globe on this webinar. I'm in Sydney right now. Doug, you're in, I understand you're in Ohio, right?
Yes, I am in the Midwest.
And we've got people from all over the planet, from Europe to Asia to Australia, everywhere on this webinar. So thank you very much for investing your time. And I just want to share with you some really, really, really special strategies that we're finding to get an amazing amount of traffic very, very quickly online from a source actually that I didn't even know was really a source I could even tap into until just about 2 or 3 months ago. We're going to talk about 48 hours to 1,000 plus targeted hits. Again, 48 hours to 1,000 plus targeted hits to your website or any other online asset. And we're going to create a crowd of hungry buyers. These are targeted people that are going to see what's online, and they're going to click on a link and go to your website. Now, I have with me on the call Doug. Doug Crow. You can hear me, right, Doug?
Yes, I can. You're coming loud and clear.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, cool. Doug is by trade a journalist. And when he shared with me what he's doing online about when it comes to getting traffic to go to a website, I was in awe. And in fact, at the beginning, I didn't even believe him. But then he said, let me show you how. Let me show you what I do. And he's shown me over and over again this strategy that I'm going to share with you tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. For those of you who don't know who I am, that's me right there. That's I'm Jim Graham. I don't normally wear a jacket like that I normally wear. And I'm known around the globe for generating cash online very, very quickly. There's Jackie Robinson right there, $1,400 in revenue in 6 hours. Here's another one here from Georgios Georgiou in Athens, Greece, $3,000 in 6 hours. Here's another one here, Marty, $30,000 in 3 days. Here's another one here, $35,000 in 3 days. And this one, 6,000 in 3 days. And here's another one, Joe, 38,000 in 3 days, 44,000 in 3 days for Avril. And here's another one, 47,000 in 3 days. All of these with a small $37 product. And so what I do is I go into a seminar and people say, hey, Jim, I want you to put your money where your mouth is. And I'm on the hot seat and I get to show everyone behind the curtain of exactly how we do it. How do we promote a product online and how we get traffic online to actually go and buy a $37 product. And think about it, in some cases, more than 1,000 times in 3 days, $37 at a time. So you can imagine here, if those of you who are not that familiar with making money online, just quickly, how many of you would like to have 1,000 sales over the next 3 days of a $37 product? Well, of course you would, and this is what it comes down to is I'm going to share with you a new strategy to me. Now, I traffic already, social media using Google+, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. But when Doug Crow shared with me what he was doing, I was blown away. And that's what we're going to get into later. Teach you is how to become an authentic expert without having to blog, without having to have Facebook, Twitter, or even podcasting. And I'm going to share with you how you can sell and leverage your brand and get connected to Fox, ABC, NBC, and other recognized national media and international media. What I mean by that is, how many of you have seen these logos here at the bottom? Big credibility, right? And think about this, news stations, whether it's television, online, or newspapers, they're always looking for news. The unfortunate thing is most news is negative because that's what gets viewers. And so what the news companies are looking for is they're looking for positive news as well. And I'm going to share with you how we do both. And I'm going to share with you how this gets traffic. And actually, we talk about under-promising and over-delivering all the time. I'm going to say 1,000 hits that are targeted to your website. I'm going to share with you my own experience where I got north of 5,000 hits in 48 hours. So I'm going to share that with you as well. So what I want you to think about those, you've got to think different. Most of you are familiar with this old logo, Apple Computer, way back in the day. There's no question that back in 1984, Steve Jobs started getting people to think different. And I want you to think different throughout this presentation, because you're going to see some information here coming up that you might not have ever even known about and didn't know how to get there, or didn't know you could. More importantly, this is a part that I'm going to share. I didn't know I could until I saw Doug Crow actually do it. See this kernel of corn? It doesn't mean anything to you right now, but I want you to think about this kernel of corn later, because this is going to come back and we're going to talk about what this means later on in the presentation. Excuse me, this is an insane opportunity, guys, and I'm going to tell you this right now. There are no sales from this webinar. This is content only. That's it. I'm not selling anything. I may ask you at the end if you'd like to have a conversation with us and maybe to see how we can help you take your business to another level. There is no sales pitch. I'm not going to talk about a dollar amount because there isn't one. In fact, at the end, I'm going to make an offer to you that you can have a conversation about your business and spend one-on-one time with us, which is incredibly valuable. In fact, I charge over $1,000 an hour for consultations with most customers. My largest client, Apple Computer, I charge $10,000 an hour for, and I'm willing to give that up to help a select few people to take their business to the next level for free. No sales on this webinar at all. Got that? Okay, great. Okay, so this guy looks kind of familiar to most of us. Einstein, he's really changed the world in so many different ways. And this is what it comes down to, is we can do the same thing too, just in different ways too. So the statement here from Albert, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used to have when we created them. We've got to change. We've got to change our thinking. This is Doug Crow. I want to just bring this up to you so you can see who he is. Doug's right there. He's a professional speaker in his own right, business owner, former ABC radio host, founder of Author Your Brand, and a journalist with Newswire. He works with professionals and entrepreneurs to eliminate overwhelm and myths of becoming a recognized expert. Now, I'm going to guess that most of you, if you're not already an expert, you actually want to be a recognized expert, right? I figured as much. This is the big deal right here. It's called the credential. Now, most of us don't have the credentials in order to do what we're going to share with you, what you can do now. And when I met Doug and he shared with me this credential, I'm like, oh, wow, this is big. This is really big. Imagine having someone on your marketing team that is a certified journalist with the credentials to be able to have your news, your articles spread on the top websites on the planet. That's what this credential means right here, and this is gold. And we're going to share with you what to do with this credential, even though it's not yours, it happens to be Doug's, and how to take advantage of it. So here's what you're probably doing right now. Website, maybe you spend $1,000 to $5,000 for a website. Actually, I have a client that I met. It was a little bit late. He spent $375,000 on a website and didn't make a penny. LinkedIn, maybe you spend $1,000 to get your LinkedIn profile cleaned up, and maybe you spend 1 to 5 hours a week, putting some messages out there, making some posts and things like that. Then there's YouTube. If you're doing anything on YouTube, you probably have an outsourcer that you're spending some money on every week for YouTube content. Maybe you're creating your own content and then getting it rendered and uploaded into YouTube, maybe 5 to 20 hours a week. How many of you have a blog? Maybe you spend $500 on your blog and you're spending time writing articles and things like that for your blog 1 to 5 hours a week. Then there's Facebook, which I love Facebook, guys. Those of you that don't know who I am, Facebook is my specialty. Traffic is really overall my specialty. But you know what? You can spend $1,000 really quickly and easily on Facebook with Facebook ads. Spend 5 to 10 hours a week on Facebook to get some traffic. Then there's SEO. How many of you have a website that you have, quote unquote, SEO'd? Yeah, a few of you, right? Okay, and we all want it. We all want search engine optimization so that we're found in Google. That's the whole idea of paying for search engine optimization, is we got to be found, right? And you got to be found on page 1 of Google. Well, let me share something with you. Recently, Google changed their algorithm. And did any of you notice anything different about the Google algorithm? Some of you may have. In fact, some of your websites may be delisted now as a result of you're not complying with their latest requirements. And if you're not on top of it, you might not be found in Google anymore. I'm going to share with you later how you can be found on page 1 of Google with a simple article. Just a simple article. That's it. Now, how's that for search engine optimization? We're not talking $2,000 to $5,000 a month. We're talking about a simple article that's with the right credentials, posted in the right place, that gets shared about 1,000 times, that brings back these incredible backlinks back to your website. And these are what we call authority backlinks, guys. Then I'm sure some of you may have, maybe you wrote a book. Maybe you're an author. $20,000 for the book, takes you 3 to 12 months to write it, and now you've got a book. And I don't know about you. I don't know any authors except for the big names that are making any money. But some of you have, you have this wish to either write a book or you've written one, and you're wanting to try to make money with it. The big question at the end of the day is, how much are you really making? That's really what it comes down to, is how, with all this time and effort spent online, how much are you really making? And what I find most of all with most people, are you earning more than the minimum wage for the effort? If you are, you're one of the lucky few. If you're not, you're in the right place. And regardless of where you are, who you are, now comes the hard part. And let me just share with you this story. Back in my previous life before being online, I owned a car wash. I built this beautiful car wash back in 1988, 88. And I spent $3.25 million for it. My consultant told me, if you build it, they will come. Remember that? Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And this is from the movie Field of Dreams. And I was sold on the fact that if I invested $500,000 with this car wash equipment manufacturer, if I build it, they will come. And guess what? I opened the doors. They didn't come. They didn't come at all. The first day I opened, did pre-grand opening, 30 cars. Second day, 32 cars. Third day, 35 cars. Now, at a $3.25 million investment, I needed to break even 300 cars a day. And I was getting 30. If you build it, they will come, which is hardly true. And how's that working for you? Because I'm sure maybe you've bought some programs out there that aren't working so well for you, and they say, oh, just do it and it's going to work for you too. Well, the fact is this, you've got to actually make it work for yourself. And here's what it comes down to. You got to get noticed. And how do you get noticed? With advertising. Many of you have seen a billboard like here. It's an your annoying ad right there. It's annoying. It's confusing. It's expensive. And you can't even track it. You have no idea where your marketing money is going because you have no idea who saw your ad. Are you tracking it? Do you have any traffic from it? And where's the traffic coming from? Who are they? Who's your buyer? How long do they stay on your website? Are you tracking with analytics? Why did they leave? Do most of you, if you have a shopping cart on your website, do you have a shopping cart abandonment portion where you know exactly how many people are leaving your shopping cart and searching online for your competitor? I bet most of you don't. Did they click and did they buy? Ultimately, did they buy? And this is what it comes down to. Now, I'm known again for sharing with people how to get people to buy online. That's what I'm really known for. And I'm going to share with you how we do that using the upcoming form of traffic. But here's a bigger thing that we need to know is if they clicked and didn't buy, do you actually know why? This is the magic of being online. We can find out all this information if you know where to look, if you have the right tools. But in the meantime, you need to go get those, but let's go keep talking about traffic. After you build it, it's all about the traffic. I know that the majority of you are here on this call because you want more traffic. I know that already because this is what we get requests for every day. Now, traffic can mean one thing. Maybe it's not targeted. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's the wrong audience. What you really need, though, is targeted traffic. People that like what you've posted online. They like what they see online, and they click on a link because they like what they see. They like the story. They like what they read. They like the picture. They like the video. all highly, highly targeted, and that's what we're really after. So how can you get the traffic? There's Facebook, of course, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google Ads, pay per action for sure. There's Fiverr, Facebook ads, blogs, podcasts, software. These are all ways to get traffic, and these are all the traditional ways that we've all known and we all embrace. I mean, I'm sure most of you have at some point paid for Google pay-per-click. I'm sure most of you probably have a LinkedIn profile. Most of you have a Facebook profile or a Facebook page. Some of you may have done even Facebook ads. Most of you probably have a blog. Some of you might be doing podcasting, and some of you might even have software that goes out there and searches for people wanting your stuff. You're on this webinar because you're asking this question of yourself. Are you really satisfied with the traffic that you're getting now? This is what it comes down to. Are you really satisfied? That's what it comes down to. And I'm going to make this big assumption at the moment. Probably not. The typical marketer is not getting results using blog, social media, podcasting, engagement, blah, blah, blah. And are you being found on page 1 of Google? That's really what it comes down to. Can you be found for your thing, your keywords, your expertise on page 1 of Google? I'm going to share with you in a few minutes how you can be found on page 1 of Google, not just once like a one-hit wonder, but over and over and over again, and it's much simpler than you know. Sometimes being seen hundreds of times a day, even thousands of times a day, giving you thousands of targeted hits to your website. Now, I'm going to ask you, if you had 1,000 hits to your website, how many sales would you make? Could it be 10? Could it be 50? Could it be 100? This instant targeted traffic, 1,000 plus hits, if you just had 10% of the hits actually buy a $97 product and it was 100 people, it would be $9,700 in revenue, almost $10,000 in revenue off of just one of these articles. 1,000 targeted hits, 10% conversion on a $97 product equals $700. So here's my new way. We write quality articles that news sites want to reproduce and share. We share these articles with these news websites. These news sites share it all as well because good content gets shared. It's all done automatically. We have to write it. We have to post it so that the news articles get it. We share it on all the news websites, and then the websites share it all automatically. So let me break this down a little bit for you so you understand it a little bit better. Someone goes to create a converting sales copy spending upwards of $25,000. This is what I spend, $25,000 on a sales page for the sales copy. In this case, I'm going to write converting sales article without any selling at all. I'm storytelling where people actually read and take action. I'm not selling at all. I'm not saying buy my thing. All I'm doing is storytelling. Now, how many of you have a story to tell? Better yet, how many of you don't know of a story to tell but want one written? Because that's what it's all about, is get a story. Just get a story. We share this very special article with the top 250 news sites around the globe. The reason we're able to do this is because we have the journalists on our team. We have the credentials that most people don't have. In other words, the layman, like you or me, don't have the credentials to get even in the door. Have you ever seen a press guy that he's got maybe a camera and he's able to get actually on the field of the pro team, you know, the pro game, and he's able to actually take pictures right on the grass. Now, we can't even pay for that spot as laymen, but he gets to walk right through the door and gets to walk right up to the players, and he can even interview if he wishes or take photos or do whatever he wants to because he has their credentials. Well, let me tell you something. We have those credentials for you. No credentials, you're not getting in the door. The news sites have to like the article. If they don't like it, it goes nowhere. When they do, the article goes viral. This is why it's vital to have the right kind of article written in order for it to go viral. Understand vital and viral. These are the keys. If you miss vital, you will not go viral. There's a big differentiation. We don't write press releases. We craft stories that people read and take action on. And then ultimately click the buy now button, because that's what it's all about. You've got to have a return on investment in order to make this work. So we have to get people to take action and click buy. Consider yourself, how many of you have ever commented, liked, or shared a news article? Maybe it's with Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn, YouTube, or maybe it's even CNN News where you've actually liked an article or shared it. Most of us have. This is what we're asking people to do. So you've already done this for others, right? This is something that we've already done. We do it every day. If you're on Facebook, you're liking and sharing all the time. Now we'll start doing it for you. And the result is highly targeted clicks to your website, giving you some of the strongest SEO juice you can get on the planet. The strongest SEO juice. We're not talking about just any. We're talking about the strongest, guys. It's a backlink from an authority website. This is what Google is telling us. We need to have backlinks, and they need to be from authority websites. Well, there's no better authority than CNN News, Fox News, NBC News, ABC News. Any of those are authority websites. And when Google sees this, they go bonkers when people click on that news article and they come to your website. That's what we're looking for here, guys. So see here, you can see just some of the logos here at the bottom. Google News, Boston Globe, Miami Herald, Maxim even some of the big magazines, right? And over and over and over and over again, it gets shared and liked again and again. Back to the corn for just a minute. This is what we're taught, right? Get a website, do a blog, YouTube video, maybe some Facebook, more content. This is what we're taught, right? The problem is that you actually look like everybody else. You're doing the same thing as everyone else because you don't have the credentials. You know, when I look at a cornfield, when I'm in the Midwest, I look at a cornfield, and what do I notice? Only the corn stalks that are taller. And there aren't many. They stand out. Maybe they're only 6 inches taller, 8 inches taller. They stand out. So what you've got to do is you have to stand out as well. This is what you look like, guys. These are your websites. These are your assets online. They all look the same. How can I pick your website, your article, your news, your whatever out of this big field? It's everywhere. Millions and millions and millions of websites with the same keywords, everyone doing SEO, everyone doing everything the same, and I can't find your website. You can't be found. The question is, do you stand out right now? And the answer is probably not. This is you. You've got your website, and you've got a little buy now button, right? This is what everybody else has. You do some content. There's your content. There's your media. Look familiar? Let's dominate your market instead, and let's be the tallest stalk of corn in the field. And the way that we do this is with these very specially handcrafted articles that basically get shared thousands of times on the news. I want you to think bigger for just a minute. This is kind of like a hub and spoke. These are all different places online, all driving back traffic to your buy now button. And think about this. This is just a diagram with just a few sites. This is really what we're talking about here, guys, over and over and over and over and over again. Back to your buy now button. Here's what all this means. It's your authority backlinks. It gets your websites ranked higher. It gets your articles ranked higher. It gets your landing pages ranked higher. It gets your sales pages ranked higher. It gets your buy now buttons found. More sales, and you beat out your competition because now you're found. So let me give you an example. Here's a guy, his name was Lane Etheridge. He basically was a school teacher up until a few months ago. He wrote a book, and he went from from a school teacher to writing a book and being an author, 0 revenue, to consulting fees of $25,000 as a result of the news articles that we wrote for him. 0 to $25,000 in consulting fees, literally in a weekend. Here's what he became. Best-selling author on Amazon. He surpassed Never Eat Alone, New York Times bestseller Keith Ferrazzi. He's been recognized as one of the top business book authors of 2005, 6, and 7. And this little book, written by a guy that's never written a book before, ranked #1 on Amazon. That's what we're talking about here, is getting your stuff found. And check this out. Ranked #2 on Google. Out of 50,000 results, it was #2 ranking on Google News. There it is right there. You can see it with the arrows. Huffington Post gets this #6 spot. This particular article is #2. And we beat out Huffington Post. And Huffington Post is huge, guys. It's one of the largest websites on the planet when it comes to news. And we beat it out with Newswire. The article ranked #1 in Google. It even beat out Forbes. Our news story #1, Forbes story #5. On 593,000 search results, this article ranked #1. This is what I'm talking about here. If you have any questions, guys, I want you to ask them in the questions box and we'll get to them at the end. This is my personal experience when I said, Doug, put your money where your mouth is. Show me what you can do. 5,000 plus views in 48 hours. Now, remember, I said at the beginning, under promise and over deliver. This is what we do. I said 1,000 plus hits to your website. I got 5,233 hits to my website from just being in the news, and it was a high price ticket. I'm just going to remind you about some house rules. This is not for get-rich-quick folks. It's not for you. It's not for fake experts. It's not for people with no product or service. You've got to have a product or service, okay? Don't come to us and say, I got nothing to sell. We'll help you. We'll help you create a product. We'll help you create a service. But this is not for you unless you do have a product or service. But here's the confession. We have an advantage over most. We already have a proven experience in traffic, a professional team, and the credentials. Not everyone can do this, but we can. Imagine this scenario. What if your article happened to be shared hundreds or thousands of times by authority news sites? What if you had 5,000 hits to your website and it did convert at 10% for your $97 product? 50K, 50,000 in revenue, all in about 48 hours. Sound like a stretch? Absolutely not. What got me there was quality news articles that were shared thousands of times, positioned right with high quality readable and shareable content with a proven formula, guys. It's a proven formula, and with our credentials. You can't just go out there and go to a news website and try to post your article. It's not going to they won't take it. They won't even allow it. It's like not even in the door. You have to have the credentials. And it's how you're positioned online. This positions you as the authority. And talked about by credible, authoritative, and trusted sources. We're talking again, all these different news sites. And we've got to talk about you in the right way. It has to be the right way. We have to position you in the right way. And there's a 5-step formula for saying it right. I'm going to teach you the specifics of this proven formula right now. Here are the 5 steps. Follow the trending news. What's happening in the news right now? I'm gonna basically say there's big news right now in America with the Clinton family. Big news. Lot of stuff happening there. Create a compelling commentary. We position your story. We publish your story in the news, and then get the other news agencies to share. These are the 5 steps right here, guys. You can write them down, but I'm going to tell you won't be able to do them all. Step 1, I'm going to go into detail. News. We go to what's trending right here, and you can see what's happening right now. There's news on this particular day about Justin Bieber. People follow popular trending stories. Don't worry if the trending story is negative or positive. It doesn't really matter as long as it's getting traffic. You'll either expand on the positive or reverse the negative. Your audience is following events and stories, then sharing those events from the news sources. Following the news is often simply an escape from the daily challenges in their everyday lives. I'm going to tell you this, there are many, many companies that they don't even allow news websites to be viewed on their company computers. They don't allow it. Here's our magic. Combine your expertise with a trending news topic, an article. Why? Instead of trying to distract them from what they're already reading about, get in the way of where they were already looking. I call it newsjacking. For lack of a better word, newsjacking. We're stealing the news. We're stealing the news, right? We're going to take that news and we're going to make something of it ourselves. The trick is to become aware of trending stories, spin your content by commenting on that story, and then most importantly, relate it to your customers who are searching for this news. Step 2, create a compelling opinion. Just create a compelling opinion. It doesn't even have to be yours. It can just be an opinion. Controversial statements about a trending story and relate it to a direct benefit you can deliver. I'll give you an example. In America right now, there is a huge argument over the legalization of medicinal marijuana. Very, very controversial. Some states allow it, some states don't. And you can give controversial statements about a trending story and relate it to a direct benefit you can deliver. You now have incredible traffic. Talk more about the trending story and the potential benefit to the reader rather than your stuff. Talk about the story and the benefit to the reader, not about your stuff. We don't want to talk about your stuff. Your story should be an opinion about the trending topic and their desired outcome. Give thoughtful opinion on the news they are most interested in. Write an article that's a teaser that demonstrates a beneficial payoff for your reader. Answer, what's in it for me? For the reader, which is your future client. You have to answer, what's in it for me? For the reader. These are your future clients. Then it's time for step 3. Positioning your story. Leads, it leads. Positioning property. Step you in the news. We have to submit it. We have to actually submit it and get it approved. Who's doing the publishing? We do. It's actually Doug. He does it. His credential allows us to actually publish the story. You have to have the credential in order to do it. No credential, it's not published. AP News, Wire, etc. And then there's garbage, free and content farms. Those are the 2 types of submissions. Then we go into sharing, and this is how we get the word out. This is how we get the backlinks. Look at all these different sites online that get shared. It's amazing what happens. Your article needs to be newsworthy and shareable, which means others, especially the media, share it willingly. We want to get them to share it willingly. It must relate to the basic psychology of human interests such as politics, celebrities, sports, politics, human interest, science, disasters. You look right here, right? We've got politics here. We've got, it looks like a soccer match. Maybe there's something related to these kids riding a bike. And then science, right? All these things. Right now, another big thing in the news is the Nepal earthquake. Imagine what people are searching online right now for Nepal earthquake, and how you position yourself to get traffic as a result of the Nepal earthquake news. Any news that can be linked to your business, for example, celebrity equals arrested, you equal life coach. Your story comments on the arrest and suggests how your solution could have prevented it. Mother's Day is a holiday. You equals whatever you sell that makes the perfect Mother's Day gift. People need ideas. They're looking for help online. They're searching. And Mother's Day is a perfect holiday to be able to give people ideas, give buyers ideas of what's that perfect Mother's Day gift. Or create a story with you as the hero. Using Mother's Day as a holiday. There are many mothers who are heroes. News equals government scandal. You equals your upcoming campaign is donating 10% of your profits to a related charity. See, scandal in government and you and charity can get an incredible amount of traffic. Incredible amount. Right now, there are more scandals in the U.S. government than I think I've ever seen it ever before. And you can attach your story to any of those. And upcoming with 10% of your sales or 10% of your profits for what you're selling will go to a real charity instead of a scandalous charity. Sharing is caring, but sharing the news is where the magic occurs. It absolutely occurs when we're sharing the news. When your newsworthy story is shared by others, it becomes part of the news stream. Your story must be shared within these exclusive networks. And again, you've got to have their credentials. Is your story being shared by BBC, CNN, Fox, and your local news organizations? How many of you have submitted a story to your local news organization and it got shared? Probably none of you. So look about something here, right? This is shared in the news. 898 views of this particular article that's related to residential solar power. Think backlinks. This is how you get found with your article. It's called backlinks. And the way you get backlinks is start getting your article shared. But I want you to understand the number 3 ranking factor besides social media for websites online is the number of backlinks. That's all it comes down to. It's the number of backlinks. And this is what we do is we get you backlinks. Okay, press release versus news story. A lot of you are familiar with press releases. We don't do those. But you can see right here, recent Google algorithm change, news agency. The news agency trended up 16% and the rest went down. We use Newswire and look at the rest. There's
Okay, it looks like we might have had a little technical difficulty. I lost Jim for a second. This one slide you're looking at here is talking about press releases versus news stories. Jim, if you can hear me, go ahead and send me a quick text. There we go. Okay, he is off. All right, we'll see if we can fix this, and we'll come back on. So don't go away. And there's a replay here. We'll edit this out, of course. But if you're live with us, we appreciate it, and we'll see if we can get our slides back on again. All right, Jim is going to reset his computer, guys. So just stick with us, and we'll reset this thing up and finish up and give you some more great content. So hang tight. We haven't gone anywhere.
Doug, can you hear me? Hello, Doug?
Yeah, I got your audio now, but there's no slides up.
There's no slides up. Interesting. Okay, so let me try to share my screen again. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Please let me know when you can see it. Can you see it?
There we go. We're good. Continue on.
Okay. We get your story shared by hundreds of news websites, just like these right here. These go over and over and over again. Share, share, share. And then it's shared to thousands of other channels. We get you ranking above other news so that you can get found. That's what this is all about. You can get found. Higher search engine rankings right here. 24 hours after publishing the story, 1,366 views on Newswire alone. What this means for you is more prospects, more opt-ins for your database, more leads, and more buyers. That's what this all means. Ultimately meaning more money. We're hired by some of the world's top marketers to do the same thing for them, and now you have the chance to benefit the way they do. Your website now has thousands of high PR backlinks in about 48 hours. These are just some of them right here to give you an example of what happens when we get the news out. You can see that there are a lot of them. They just keep on coming in, right? They just keep on coming in to get shared. And this is how we get thousands of backlinks in 48 hours. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you would like to have a 45-minute free online meeting with us? Free, 45 minutes, no obligation. Just we can talk about your business and see how maybe we can be a nice fit. Here's what I want you to do. Click on this link, authorityfusion.com/strategy. That's authorityfusion.com/strategy. Just click on the link. There's a little bit of a form. You can schedule a call with us. We're going to sit down online probably. You're going to fill out a form. You're going to send it to us. We're going to find out a little bit more about your business, and then we're going to spend some time with you on a call. From this call, we're going to find out if we're a good fit for each other. Can we help you get the traffic that you need? It's private. It's one-on-one. It's secure. We're very conscious of people's private stuff, and we're going to find out if this is something that would work for both of us. Once we determine that we're a good fit, we'll write, publish, and professionally share your story, and you're going to get thousands of targeted clicks. There's no risk, guys. All you have to do is just click on the link and go right in and fill out the form. Your story is published on Google News, CBS, ABC, Fox, and hundreds of others. We guarantee that. But all you have to do is set up an appointment with us. That's it. You know, some people go, Jim, how do I qualify? Well, all you have to do is fill out the survey. That's it. Remember, there's no sale here. I'm not selling anything. There's no dollar amount. There's nothing. All you have to do is go to authorityfusion.com/strategy. And from that, you can basically fill out the form and get it to us. As soon as we get the form in, we can set up an appointment. There's no charge. Like I said, no charge. Now, I want to give you this warning. Our custom consultation is limited to the number of hours we have. We don't have a lot of time to do this. Again, this is free. But there are a few people that we want to work with, that we want to get some results for and demonstrate that and help you get sales of whatever your product or service is through this medium. Just go to authorityfusion.com/strategy. We have only 8 spots, right? Because again, we don't have a lot of time. It's not like we can spend 40 hours a week talking to people for free. We actually have to get some work done. Doug actually has to write this sales copy, the articles, if you will, and then he has to get them shared. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. Again, this is not for everyone, but we do have 8 spots available where we can meet with you one-on-one personally in order to see if we're a good fit. If you have any questions, right now is the time to ask them. And between Doug and I, we'll be happy to try to answer those. But remember, just go to authorityfusion.com/strategy. Hey, Doug, do you see any questions in there?
Yes, Jim, I do. I see a couple questions popping up right now. First question is, how long does it normally take to get the articles shared?
How long does it take? Okay, Doug, you're probably better for answering that, yeah?
Yeah, I sure am. Generally what happens is once we've crafted that story and found the trending topic, our stuff gets published immediately. I'm talking like within 6 to 12 hours. And that's because we are a bona fide news agency. So it gets published generally same day or very next day. And then the sharing takes place over the course of several days to a week, depending on how viral it goes. So that's a great question. Next question is, does this work for anything, even a nonprofit? Oh my gosh, yeah, of course it does. Yeah, nonprofits are actually great because, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of that stuff in the news is quite negative. So when people pop in a positive story about somebody doing good in the world, that gets shared virally in a huge manner. So yes, nonprofits absolutely benefit from being in the news. Press releases, not so much because nobody reads it when they're being self-serving. But like you mentioned before about the Nepal thing, boy, anybody is doing any good there, that people want to pick up that story because it's a real downer to hear about the tragic. Here's one more for you, Jim, in terms of integrating. How does being in the news integrate with what I'm doing right now? In terms of, that's a great question, right? First of all, if your chances are you're doing some social media, you're doing some blogging and things like that. Look, here is your chance to absolutely have some authority. Now, one of the big things here, and we didn't talk about yet, is you also can now be seen on Fox News. You can use those graphics. You can absolutely use those graphics and put those on your profile, on your social media. That you've now been seen on these places, right? And this absolutely helps you to be an authority because not everybody can say this, right, Doug? Absolutely. Matter of fact, a quick example. We had a gal that did a book launch just yesterday, in fact, and she became a #1 bestseller in 2 categories. One of them was in European. I mean, it's just some really good stuff there. But what was fascinating to watch was that when she posted her book, it did okay. But when our news articles did it, it went like wildfire and put her on the map because people generally trust other people's opinions. When the author themselves is talking about how great they are, it's like, yeah, it's pretty self-serving. But when this news agency started talking about her Holocaust book, whatnot, it went out there. It did very, very well. Okay, next question. What's the catch? There's no catch. The question is, what's the catch on making the appointment?
Yeah, the catch is this. There isn't one. Fill out the form so that we're a little more educated on your business so that we know and have some ideas ahead of time before we actually talk to you. Once the forms fill out, then it's just talk to us. Again, this is free. There is no buy now button, no credit card needed. It's free. Absolutely free. There is no catch.
All right, very good. Okay, Jim, great job, man. I really appreciate your input on this. Here's another question. Someone wanted to know, in terms of a specific product, does it work for a physical product? Or yes, physical or digital, it doesn't really matter, guys. Digital product, if you've got a it's immaterial, right? I mean, you can things in the news just work. So whether you're doing a coaching program or you actually are selling a widget on Amazon, it's very important to get people who are looking for that stuff to be in front of them. So yes, digital or physical product definitely works. Jim, if you have any opinion on that.
And also, look, the other thing is also network marketing. You can take news and spin an article, let's say it's health and wellness that you're in as a network marketer. Take that news that's related to health, cancer, whatever, and spin them your way and get traffic to come right into your network marketing product.
Yeah, a quick point on that. A lot of folks suffer from when you are involved with a company and there are hundreds or thousands or even millions of people selling the same thing. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you say, listen, there's 1,000 distributors for your product and you're in a network marketing company. You're technically competing with your neighbor. You guys, generally, they don't have territories, right? So how do you stand out? You stand out when I'm talking about your industry or your topic. Good point, that Jim. I'm not going to talk about your whiz-bang widget, whatever it is. Say you've got a nutritional supplement. We're going to talk about the health of the nation, health of the country, or obesity epidemic, or depression, whatever it is. And then I will position you, that individual distributor, as the expert. So you'll be elevated.
Well, again, this is going to date the webinar, but I noticed today in the news that McDonald's is closing 300 locations, right? Fast food restaurant, one of the largest on the planet, is closing 300 locations. Now, it doesn't really matter why, but you can take that 300 locations, and one of the things is fewer people are buying that kind of food, right? They're being more healthy. They're more conscious of their health. Well, does that not lead right into maybe some vitamins and supplements and things like that? Of course it does. Of course it does.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I know a lot of those people use their celebrity endorsements to get them going. But I'm telling you, you can be the celebrity. We can position you as the expert to really elevate your status and get you a whole lot more traffic directly to your opt-in page, your landing page, whatever you've got out there. So that's a great one. I love that one, Jim. Thanks so much. Any other questions right now, folks? I don't see anything else in the chat right now. Jim, you think
see that there are just 3 spots left, right? 3 spots left right at the moment.
Hold on, let me look. Yeah, we got 5 taken. There's 3 left. Yeah, you can go ahead and I got 3 spots left for those consultations. We are, like I said, we don't have a lot of time for that, so we'd love to chat with you and help you guys out. Yep, no more questions. That's good. Whoops, there's one more. Okay, one more. There's 2 spots left. Thank you. All right, Frank, you're with us. Good job. Yes, I'll be talking to you. Yeah, you just go to that form, authorityfusion.com/strategy, and you'll be taken directly to the appointment scheduler. Very good. All right, Frank, we'll talk to you probably tomorrow. Perfect. All right, anybody else? Jim, man, good job. I really appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up today, I think. If you have any questions, go ahead and fill out the form. We can certainly meet you there and go from there. So authorityfusion.com/strategy. Jim,
authorityfusion.com/strategy. I just have to say this, guys. Look, I've been in traffic now since 2007, and when I came across Doug Crone, what he was doing, I was blown away. This is your chance to have a free consultation with us to talk about how to help you with your traffic. And let me tell you something, getting found in the news, it's easy if you're going to be a bank robber. It's easy if you're going to do some riots in downtown Boston, or not Boston, downtown, where is it that they're riots? Baltimore. It's easy to be in the news for the bad things. How about taking some of that bad news or some of the good news and spinning that traffic right towards you? That's what this is all about. This is your free chance to get in. Take advantage of it. There's only a couple spots left at this point. Take advantage of it because we only have so much time. I want to help you. I know Doug wants to help you as well. We will see you inside Skype or however we're going to meet with you online, and we're going to talk about your business, and let's take it to another level. And if you're already doing social media, this is one of those things you just got to add to it. And imagine this, if you had an article a month that was going out into the news, 12 opportunities a year to get this enormous amount of targeted traffic, This is the new superhighway of the internet that is going to get you those backlinks. It's going to rank you higher, and you're going to be found more often. Doug, thank you for helping me out and answering some of the questions here. And guys, thank you. I really respect your time. I know we're just about at an hour, and I want to respect your time. Look forward to seeing you online again. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Got it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.